Wives, sometimes the only reason your husband is still here is because he remembers the woman you used to be, not the woman who lectures, not the woman who criticizes, not the woman, like obviously not the woman who shuts down when she doesn't get her way or when she doesn't have her way. Intentional men do not leave because they stopped loving. They leave because they stopped being safe. This is the Intentional Wife School, and today we're pulling down the curtain. One look. So, can we talk about the manipulation we do not call manipulation? Wives, sometimes the very thing you do to secure love are the same things you do to push your husband away. First of all, most wives never admit that they are manipulative. They think they are strong, they think they are clear, or just keeping things together. Do you shame your husband when he doesn't respond in the way you want him to? Or do you use guilt to get affection or financial support? And thirdly, do you constantly remind him of what he doesn't do that others do? That's not strength. That's emotional manipulation. And it is dressed up as leadership or dressed up like maturity. Ladies, you can't shame a man into becoming better. And if you are using fear, if you're using silence, if you're using sex or sarcasm to control your husband, you're not loving him. You're simply training him to disconnect. Men grow when they are admired, not managed. Manipulation might get you results, but it will never get you intimacy or the emotional connection you crave. Number 2, why men feel powerless. An intentional, loving man wants peace. He wants to avoid drama. A loving husband wants his wife to feel loved, but in trying to keep the marriage together, he loses himself. He stopped speaking up. He starts walking on eggshells. He tries harder and harder and harder. But no matter how much a man gives, it's never enough. And why is that? Because respect isn't built on sacrifice alone. It's built on boundaries. And if you've never enforced one, you've unintentionally taught your wife that you can be broken down to buy peace. You're not weak. You just aren't protecting your energy enough while still loving well. Next up, let's talk about the 3 wives men struggle to stay married to. Let's call it all out. This is not to shame you, but to wake you up. Number 1, the disrespectful wife. Every conversation feels like a correction. Secondly, he can't share an idea without feeling dismissed. She wins every argument but slowly loses his admiration. You respect who you admire. If you keep feeling like your husband can't do anything right, you will never find satisfaction. Secondly, the unfaithful wife. She emotionally and physically entertains other men. She keeps her heart open just in case. She lies. She lies to avoid accountability. Not because she doesn't feel a thing for him, but because she doesn't respect him. Number 3, the financially transactional wife. Everything is a trade. Affection is tied to how much he provides. When she's up, she's sweet. When she's down, she's cold. And to the women listening, this is not a character attack. This is an invitation. Take responsibility before your husband becomes a stranger in your home. We influence everything around us. How men miss the red flag. Husbands, let's talk. You saw the signs. You saw the attitude, the entitlement, and the moments when she dismissed your presence but demanded for your loyalty. But here's what you told yourself. She's just emotional. It gets better with time. Or you can say things like, if I love her enough, she will change. Here's the truth. A woman doesn't change for a man she doesn't respect. And she won't respect a man who doesn't value his own voice. You don't have to yell to reclaim leadership. You don't have to argue to be heard. You just have to stop feeding what's draining you. When men change, when a husband goes quiet, listen closely. When an intentional husband withdraws, when he stops texting during the day, when he comes home and goes silent, when he prefers sleep over intimacy, it's not because he doesn't care, it's because he's tired. He's tired of being the only one who is fighting to keep the marriage respectful. Every time you dismiss his concerns, you taught him something. You taught him that being silent was safer than being himself. But silence is dangerous because it means he's started to live without you. He started to live without you emotionally, even while sleeping next to you. The power of withdrawal, with love and not malice. Men, here's where you start. You stop over-explaining. And 2, you don't argue with manipulations. You disengage from it. 3, you remove your emotional attention from disrespectful moments without appearing as cruel or becoming cruel. Why? Because a woman can't reflect when you're reacting. But when you withdraw calmly, silently, and consistently, she's forced to notice the shift. And the right woman will adjust. But the wrong one, she'll get angry. She will get angry that you're no longer easy to control. But the truth is, either way, you get clarity. Wives, if your husband is still trying, it is not too late. But don't wait until he's emotionally gone before you start appreciating what you once criticized. Rebuild for respect, the invitation to heal. This is not about who's right. It's about what's real. Wives, are you loving or are you leveraging? Now, husbands, are you present or are you just enduring? Marriage is not a game of power. It's a sacred partnership built on honesty, vulnerability, and yes, mutual respect. Woman, if your marriage is in a cold place, it's not too late. But change begins when you both agree that your husband has to lead. And your husband has to lead in love and not pride. And if no one ever told you this today, I'm here to tell you that your marriage is worth fighting for. But do not lose your respect and your dignity in the process.